Hi, welcome to the show. I'm Ivory, LaNoue. Reynolds is still out. She's taken a medical leave. She'll be back as soon as she can. Today's topic is affirmations for abundance. We'll actually be talking about more than just affirmations, but a variety of ways to bring abundance of all kinds into your life. Before we get started with that, I want to say a special hello to our listeners in Nairobi, Kenya. How exciting to have you here with us. Thank you so much for listening. Let's jump into this because there's a lot to cover today. So I want you to think about the last time you set a goal for yourself. Did you push forward past your fear and doubts to achieve it? Or did those fears, feelings of overwhelm, self-doubt hold you back? Those thoughts, when they're reinforced over time, come from a scarcity mindset. And that is the belief that there will never be enough or that you will never make enough, resulting in fear, stress, and anxiety. And before we go any further in this, I want to say it's very important to understand that abundance is far more than money. Yes, money is part of it, but abundance is everything in your life that makes it feel full and rich and wonderful, that makes you feel joy and happiness. So money is probably part of that. Let's face it, in the modern world, we need money to buy things like food and a place to live and a car to drive and gas to put in it and medical care and clothes and all those things. And not to mention the fun things that you probably want to do too. So money is not about being selfish or greedy. Money is a necessary part of life, whether you're on a spiritual journey or not. So I want to talk about this scarcity mindset, though, because it can really cause you to limit yourself through your beliefs and actions. It can prevent you from achieving your biggest goals, keeping you in debt, or even destroying your confidence. I want to tell you something. Like, for many years when I worked in mental health, which was about 16 years, I worked for low-income and homeless population. I did not make a lot of money. When I started in that field, I started at $11,000 a year. Now, granted, it was back in 92, but that was terrible pay in 92. I took a 2/3 cut in pay to move from radio to working in mental health. Luckily, I got promoted and made more than that, but it was never great pay, and I never worried about it. I felt like I was right where I needed to be. I was helping the people who really needed my help. I loved the patients, got along great with them, really passionate about my work. But as I got older, closer to retirement age, I started caring about money and thinking, oh dear, do I want to be one of those old people who are living off Social Security? I'm grateful to have it, but I don't want to have to rely on that. So I started caring about it. It's still not my overriding main thing in life, but it's amazing how reaching a new phase in life can make you change your priorities. So you might feel that you don't know enough, you don't have the resources, or you're not good enough to achieve success or build wealth. Like, that's for everybody else, but not for you. You might think, who am I to go after this dream? I got to tell you, I used to have a radio talk show, and it was an entertainment show, and I interviewed a lot of politicians. I had famous politicians, I had famous authors, famous artists, musicians come on the show. And all of them talked about how there was a point where they thought, who am I? Why am I so special? Why would I get to be famous or rich? So everybody's got those thoughts unless they're a complete narcissist. So if that sounds like you, you're not alone. And it's important to know that there's nothing wrong with you or having those thoughts. You just need a little shift in your mindset to think more abundantly about your life. So know that your thoughts create your reality. I'm sure you've heard about this whole thing of, it started with, I can't even think of that. What is that book called? I just had like a lapse, couldn't think of the name of it. But anyway, there's a huge book out there and a whole program that goes with it. And then the whole thing of manifesting. So much of what we say and think about ourselves is negative. And those negative thoughts influence everything else in your life. Your beliefs create emotions, which create behaviors, which result in effects. So the effects that you receive reinforce your belief about yourself and your life. So when you truly believe you can't achieve success or that you'll never have enough money, your emotions and behaviors will cause you to act in a way that makes that a reality for you. You don't want that. I don't want that for you. On the other hand, if you believe that you deserve success, or you believe you can attract the wealth and abundance you desire, your emotions shift. And so will your behaviors to allow you to achieve your goals. It all starts with shifting your belief. Beliefs are nothing more than thoughts that you continue to repeat to yourself. So to shift your thoughts, start with positive affirmations. We're going to talk quite a bit about that today. I have been big on affirmations since I started in mental health, and I learned about them when I was training psychology, and I thought they were great, and I used them with my patients at the psychiatric hospital and went on to use them after that in other places where I worked. What affirmations are declarations you can make to consciously shift your thoughts from something negative to something positive. By writing down an affirmation and saying it out loud, you're forcing your brain to pay attention to the positive thought, and that helps you form positive emotions. When you practice each day, positive affirmations can really help you form new beliefs and even thought patterns, creating that abundance mindset for you. And an abundance mindset can transform your life by motivating you to take powerful, aligned action toward your goals. If you want to experience more abundance or more success in your life, start by shifting your thoughts with positive affirmations. So we're going to go through quite a bit of these, and you can record the show. I won't mind. The first one are abundant success affirmations. So these are just to get you thinking about success for yourself. I am worthy of what I desire. I have everything I need to be successful. I am grateful for the positive things in my life. I am open to limitless possibilities. I achieve whatever I set my mind to. I am smart, capable, and talented. I believe in myself. I am ready to share my gifts with the world. I surrender to the wisdom of the universe. I am my best source of motivation. I am creative and open to new solutions. I choose to embrace the mystery of life. I choose faith over fear. I allow everything to be as it is. I attract miracles into my life. I am open to receiving unexpected opportunities. I am aligned with my purpose. I am worthy of positive changes in my life. I am grateful for the abundance that I have and the abundance that's on its way. I am capable of achieving greatness. So I want to tell you too, don't feel like you have to do all of these. I would say pick 3 that resonate for you, that you feel will be important, make a big difference for you. Write them on an index card, tape them to the bathroom mirror, and every morning and every night you're going to read them out. You notice I was reading them with conviction. I'm doing that to demonstrate for you. Look yourself in the eye in the mirror and say them 3 times like you mean it, every morning, every night. When you realize that there's one of them that you do mean, well, you can cross that one out, maybe replace it with a new one or just go to 2. So let's go into another 20. These are abundant money affirmations, specifically about attracting financial abundance. And I know a lot of you are interested in that. There's so many spiritual people and especially spirituality workers out there who live in scarcity. So I want to help you. I attract money to me easily and effortlessly. I always have enough money. I am a money magnet. I make money easily. I am grateful for money. I love money because money loves me. I believe there is enough money for everyone, and I want to emphasize that one. I am in a place, Sedona, Arizona, where there is a spiritual worker. There's multiple spiritual workers on every corner, so there's a lot of competition. But at my business, Sedona Soul Sisters, we don't worry about that. We truly believe there's plenty of business to go around, and the people who are meant to be working with us, they're going to be attracted to us. They're going to energetically come to us, and we're going to be able to help them. And the other people in town, the people who are meant to work with them, will go to them. And it's not a competition. It's just different strokes for different folks. And there's plenty of them out there for all of us. I am generous with my money. I change the world with my money. I am worthy of the wealth I desire. I love to give money a good home. I am open to receiving what is in the highest and best for all. I am open to giving what is in the highest and best for all. I release all resistance to attracting money. I am financially free. I am aligned with the energy of abundance. I am capable of overcoming any money obstacles that stand in my way. I boldly conquer my money goals. I deserve to make more money. I accept and receive unexpected money. These are good. So again, pick 2 or 3, and you can even pick one from each category, put them on the index card, whatever works for you. And again, you're going to say that whatever ones you pick 3 times in the morning, 3 times at night, till you truly mean it in your heart. The next ones are for abundance, self-love, and confidence affirmation, because there's a lot of people who don't love themselves. If you don't love yourself, it's hard to bring the abundance of love into your life. So I like this set too. I am worthy of love. I am capable of loving myself. I am grateful for my body because, fill in the blank, I am confident in my own skin. I am loving and lovable. I am compassionate with others and myself. I attract loving and positive people into my life. I am strong, brave, and confident. I am more than my mistakes. I am proud of myself and all that I have accomplished. I am a beautiful person inside and out. I am worthy of compassion and empathy. I choose happiness. I am proud of the person I am and the person I'm becoming. I am at peace with who I am. I am aligned with the energy of love. I am centered, peaceful, and grounded. I am authentic, true, and graceful. I deserve love, respect, and empathy. I have come this far, and I can keep going. So I want to say some things about this. Some of these bring up some thoughts for me that I really want to share, because I had to learn them the hard way by trying the wrong things that never worked. And one of those is, my whole work is really about angels, and I've seen them, heard them, felt them my whole life. So I go to my angels for a lot of things, and they certainly weigh in on everything going on in my life, including abundance. So I'm going to tell you some stories here. So when I first moved to Sedona and I met Roz, and then we started Sedona Soul Sisters, I had very little money. I had money from a settlement, and that's it. And I needed to climb out of a financial hole. And I ended up getting like very serious injuries, one after another, so that it was very hard to work. So I was really not making a lot of money and feeling like I was going further and further in the hole. And I would ask my angels, please bring me abundance. Please put me in that stream of abundance, of prosperity. Let it wash over me. I would do visualizations. And finally, they're like, Ivory, thank us. And I'm like, I am grateful, but what do you mean? And I heard, thank us. And I thought about it a minute, and this is what I said. Thought about it more than a minute, to be honest. So I wasn't sure what they meant. But this is what I said. Angels, thank you for giving me enough money to pay my bills on full and in time, to save money, and to have some fun in life. I'm so grateful for that abundance. And I'm going to tell you, it felt funny saying it because it wasn't true yet, but it was a turning point. That was the week that things started turning for me financially and things started rolling forward. So I was in a scarcity mindset and I was blocking my own abundance. And my angels are like, hey, girl, you need to stop this, So I suggest you do that. Talk to your angels and thank them as if they've already brought that abundance into your life and feel it. I like when I say it now, I say it pretty much every day just because I don't want to ever think I take them for granted, because I don't. And I like to really tune into that, like how I feel that in my heart, my soul, how grateful I am for where I am today based on where I was at that time and other times in my life where I lived paycheck to paycheck. And sometimes it was iffy whether that was going to happen. So I'm not there anymore. And I'm so grateful. Thank you, angels. So something you should try. And the other thing is that I realized that I've been through a lot. I've had a lot of trauma in my life and I've had a lot of abuse. And I could have died over many times over, so close. And I realized my angels always have my back, and they always will. They always will. As long as I'm doing what I know I'm supposed to be doing, I'm listening to them and following the path that I've set for myself with them, they're going to make sure my needs are met. So every time I have a little doubt, I worry about things, I stop and I'm like, no, angels, you've got me this far. I know you have my back. I know you always will. I know I'll always have my needs met. And notice I said my needs, because there's a difference between needs and wants. I need food. I do not need Rocky Road ice cream, but I do need a car to drive, but I do not need a Lamborghini. So my needs are met. And it's true, they really are. And you need to remind yourself, because you have a whole team of angels yourself. Mine aren't special because I'm an angel person. I have the same kind of team you have. I know that yours are there and eager to help you. So all these things that have worked for me with my angels will work for you with your angels. Something else to try. I don't want it to be all about affirmations because not everybody's into that. So I really wanted to make sure that we have a variety of methods for people to try. So here are 10 other ways to attract abundance into your life, just some totally different methods. Number one, begin with gratitude. I have touched on that. Always start with giving thanks. I do it every morning before I get out of bed, every night before I go to sleep. It makes me feel, just reminds me how lucky I am to have the things I have, to live where I live, to have some of the luxuries other people don't have in the world. And some of the luxuries are rights other people don't have in the world, just whatever strikes your heart that day and your mind of what you're grateful for at that time. Give thanks and do it out loud. Be thankful for what you already have and see the miracles that come from this one simple act. Like, it's amazing when you start focusing on what you do have and being truly grateful for it, how it opens up and there's more abundance. Boom, you're in that flow. Next, you got to challenge yourself to produce more ideas than you need for yourself so you can share and give your ideas away. That is called fruitfulness and abundance. It means working on producing more than you need for yourself so you can begin blessing others. I love it when my friends come to me or clients and say, Ivory, I do have this problem with my business. What can I do? And I'll tell them, I'll give them some ideas for free. We're just like, have lunch, talk on the phone and give them ideas that they could use for their business, because I know I had plenty of help, plenty of suggestions and guidance for myself, and I definitely want to pay that forward. So when you work on producing more than you need, you begin blessing others, you're blessing yourself, blessing your enterprise. Once abundance does start to come, once someone becomes incredibly productive, it's amazing what can happen from that. The next one is dreaming it. Dreaming abundance. Everything begins in the heart and mind. Every great achievement began in the mind of one person. They dared to dream, to believe that it was possible. Take some time to allow yourself to ask, what if? And think big. Don't let negative thinking discourage you. You want to be a dreamer. It's a good thing. Dream of the possibilities for yourself, your family, and your business and others. If you had a dream that you let get cold, reignite that dream. Fan the flames. Life is too short to let it go. You're meant to pursue that. Next, alter your mindset. Fulfilled people live in the world of abundance. Others live in a world of limitation. Some people think there's not enough to go around in the world. And as we talked about earlier, they come from a fear-based mindset. Their answers are either or, but never both. In that person's mindset, they go for security above love, safety before self-expression, and protection over possibility. A large global scale example of this is when people worry that if we help another country, we won't have enough in ours. It doesn't work that way. That's scarcity thinking on a huge scale. You need to learn to understand that with a little creativity, a willingness to be unconventional, I never have a problem with that, and an open mind, you can have both. When you build your life on the both mentality, you will see opportunities you were once blind to. What about you? Are you a possibility theorist or a fear-based thinker? If you're fear-based, it's a good time to really dive into that, think about how you can step out of that and start looking at the both side. Next, construct an empowering reality. Oh, I love this. I'm good at this. You're creating your reality right now, but chances are you're not being very intentional about the reality that you're creating. Reality is subjective. If you realize that it's a construct, if you realize you're choosing to believe something, then you can choose to believe that you can do something about it. Write down the beliefs that you have about yourself now. On one side, list the things that empower you and move you forward, the things that make you more confident, that give you the courage and the audacity to move forward. On the other side, list the things that demotivate or demean you and move you away from your goals. You can choose to believe things that empower you, and you can choose to ignore the things that move you backward. It's all a construct. Next, stop making excuses. Eliminating excuses is important because your future is important. If you only get the future that you work for, then what you work on is pretty important, right? You probably don't want to screw that up. If there's a list of things to not flub, your future has to be very high on that list. Your decisions lead to your destiny. Do you believe that? You should. It's true. Sooner or later, what you do and who you really are determines what you ultimately achieve. Next, realize your potential. The wonderful thing about potential is that it can build upon itself. If you can just get that snowball rolling, the energy of motion will take over for you. Think a moment about the people that you respect. Why do you admire them? You're probably drawn to them because they're full of realized potential. When we see people exerting this kind of energy, it compels us to draw ourselves closer to them and become a part of what they are doing. So today you have a choice. Will you sit at the top of the hill merely contemplating your capabilities, your potential? Or will you give yourself a little shove and barrel down that hill, knocking over any obstacles standing in your way, in a lovely, nice way, of course? Next, attract opportunity. Opportunities and success are not something you go after necessarily, but something you attract by becoming an attractive person. That doesn't mean how you look, it means your energy. If you can develop your skills, keep refining all the parts of your character and yourself, your health, your relationships, so that you become an attractive person, you will attract opportunity. Opportunity will likely seek you out. I'm living that. There's things happening that I never sought out at all. I just keep plugging away, doing my work, doing my thing, and they're just coming to me, and I know it can happen for you too. Next, commit to living your dreams. Once you commit to living your dreams, the lids that have been blinding your eyes will be lifted. A completely new world will be open to your view. You will notice opportunities that have been in your reach all along. ones your conscious mind simply didn't pay attention to. The fundamental change taking place is your self-identity. That is the point of no return. Once this shift happens, your whole world changes. Nothing becomes impossible to you. Your only limitations are your consciousness, which is quickly expanding. Whatever you want quickly becomes yours because you see what most people don't. Now that you can see it everywhere, you're sprinting. Next, never be satisfied. And I kind of I'm kind of like, oh, there's parts of me that don't like this, but in a way, it's really true. Even after you achieve a goal, you're not content. For you, it's not even about the goal. It's about the climb to see how far you can push yourself. It's human nature. We're goal-oriented. Does that make you ungrateful? Absolutely not. You're entirely humbled and grateful for everything in your life. And that is why you'll never get complacent or lazy, because you'll always be striving. Next, add value to others. When you stand on the beach and watch the waves hit the shore, do you think there's any end to that water? There is, of course, but we can't comprehend it. So we think seawater is endlessly abundant. You would never deny a bucketful to a child building a sandcastle because you can refill that bucket again and again. That's how the abundance mindset works. You give away praise, recognition, ideas, knowledge, and money because you know there's plenty to go around. I'm going to tell you something else I've realized probably more in the last 7 to 8 years. When I worry about money and I get tight and I say, oh, I better really cut back on some little things I do for myself that just make me day. It could just be stopping by Dunkin' for an iced coffee that I love so much. And I'll be like, oh, I shouldn't spend the money on that. Do you know that money will stop flowing? It'll cut back drastically. And as soon as I go, oh, okay, yeah, I stepped into scarcity, didn't I? And I say, you know what? It's only $3.49. I think I'm worth that. I'm going to give myself that gift. And then here comes the money flowing in again. Pay attention to that for yourself. What happens when you think scarcity? What happens when you reassure yourself there's always a constant flow of money? You'll be fine. You deserve some little treats in life. Life is not about austerity all the time. Okay, so we talked about my angels, and that's a big thing. Please do take that into consideration because your angels know everything that's happening behind the scenes and what's going to happen for you. So try some of these things, see what they do and say for you. Let's kind of get to the chase here. What is the wrap up of today's session? You can shift from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset simply by repeating the positive affirmations. Creating a daily habit of consciously choosing your thoughts is a powerful way to transform your mindset. Because when you change your thoughts, you can change your reality. Remember, it's all a construct. You already have everything you need to be successful. You just need to truly believe it. Take action now. Set a goal to create more abundance in your area, in any area of your life. Then choose 1 or 2 affirmations from the list or write your own. And each day, you can write them multiple times. Some people learn better by writing, but for most people, you need to hear it out loud and look yourself in the eye and say it 3 times in the morning and at night. And then I think it's good to kind of add it to your phone reminders. Have those affirmations pop up to remind you in case you slid into scarcity thinking, in case you're not thinking that you're worthy, you're not thinking self-love, you're not having good self-esteem. It'll kind of jolt you back. Oh yeah, I got to switch that up. The more you repeat positive affirmations, the more those affirmations run through your head, the faster and more it reinforces that new pattern of positive thinking for you. Remember to thank your angels for the abundance as if it's already present in your life, as if your life is filled with abundance of every kind. Over time, instead of defaulting to negative thoughts, you'll naturally start to think more abundantly. Make the most of your infinite possibilities ahead of you. I mean, there's so many wonderful things coming in for you you can't even imagine. I promise you. Explore the unique, endless possibilities within you. Remember that when you work on improving yourself, you're adding to the youth, vitality, and beauty of your mind. You have so much control over yourself and only yourself, so it's worth putting the energy into. Don't waste your time and energy trying to fix and change other people. Not going to happen. That's their project. You are your project. And I spent years on my project getting to this point. So I'd like to have you get there a lot faster than I did. It would be nice. I want you to definitely experience abundance of all kinds in your life. So if you have questions about today, you can email them. The email address is in the show description. If you're interested in more about Sedona Soul Sisters or our services, we invite you to visit our website, sedonasoulsisters.com. You've been watching the Sedona Soul Sisters show. And if you like us, please follow the podcast and literally like us, because it always makes us smile when we see that. Tune in next Friday. The topic, you're going to be excited, all of you sci-fi lovers. It's encounters on a UFO. So it's personal stories about being on UFOs, what people experienced, credible stories. So I think you'll be very interested, and the show is not live anymore. So if you have things you want to add, your own personal story, email it to me ahead of time. I'll be glad to read it on the show, and it is recorded in advance. So don't wait too long. Get it to me by next Wednesday, and we'll make sure that it's included on the show so you can still participate. In the meantime, we hope you have an enlightening week.